Oh, hey, welcome back. Thanks for coming on over. We were just having a discussion. Brits, put the kettle on. We've got ourselves a nice little couple people here hanging. Okay, come on in. Sit down, sit down. We'll have some tea and biscuits pretty soon. But we were just now discussing old Nickelodeon Halloween episodes, and you're just in time for us to talk about the first of all our favorites. So, first Halloween episodes for any show is going to kind of set how they're always going to feel. And each show has a different voice to begin with. I've always just thought it was an interesting thing. I have a lot of nostalgia for Halloween, so does Brits. We're both massive,
Halloween
massive
fans.
spooky horror fans. And obviously, the trick or treat season brings it on the hardest. I love it here.
Takes you back to the time when you were a kid.
Yeah. And there's nothing quite more kiddish than pounds upon pounds of candy and a bunch of junk food for your eyes. Um, all joking aside and all kayfabe aside, today we're talking about the first Halloween special out of some Nickelodeon classics. We might bring this back next year, but for now, we're going to do 3 or 4 cartoons, depending on how long the first 3 take. We'll see if we can squeeze in a 4th. Before any review is to be made or any talk is to be done, I figure, and see if you like this, I think we should each share a small Halloween story
I like
just
the
to kind
idea.
of bring it around.
I like the idea because I have a good one.
I have a real good one. So I'll start off. And this happened around maybe 15-ish, 16-ish. I was a teenager. Far be it from me to remember exactly when, but it's been a long time. So Halloween around this time was pretty great for me. This is a couple of years after I started kind of doing horror and stuff like that. I was riding my bike around the loop. I live in a village, not a very big one, and pretty much every place you can go is accessed by a huge oval of a street, and it's referred to as the loop. I would drive my bike around all over that thing, up through the track that goes up the middle of it. It's always just been, it's just a great place to walk, ride, play, explore. So there's a buddy of mine named Amber that was with me this day. I came across her on my ride. And so, we're hanging out, we're talking, getting candy. And this is one of my last years of trick or treating before anyone asks. Um, Again, 15, 16 ish, I'm pretty sure. Little older than I think you should. But nowadays, I'm not even sure you should trick or treat at all anymore. It's getting real bad. That's a different discussion for a different day, and it's a sad one, to be honest. So, out of nowhere, because, we're talking, this bike, I keep it tuned up nice and even all the time. I decide I'm kind of tired of walking on the road, so I'd been walking my bike a bit so that way Amber could take herself a break. And I shit you not, I decide, okay, let's get up on the railroad. I'll start riding my bike again and I'll just go slower. Well, I literally get up the little mound that houses it, and then the bike explodes.
Oh.
Like, the front wheel just eats dirt. The whole thing, disassembles. I guess there was some kind of, loose bolt somewhere or something, but the bike just fell apart on its front end. And I fell down.
Oy.
I tumbled all the way down. It's like maybe a 6-foot mound, and I tumbled down it with my bike. By then I knew how to fall, so it's not like I got real badly hurt or nothing, but it was just a blindside. Candy everywhere, just good lord.
I bet you had to pick all your candy up too.
Yeah. It was pretty funny, actually, looking back on it now. It wasn't funny then. Sucked. If you're wondering, I went as a gory zombie, and Amber was a sleeping bitch.
What?
No, that's what she literally called it, too, before anyone calls me out. That's what she described it as. She was wearing pajamas, had a bear, and kept a kind of grimace on her face that made her look mad. And she called it the sleeping bitch.
Oh
no. Good times. Good times. So, what was your little tale you were going to tell?
So this one is from when I was like 4 years old. I went as SpongeBob, I think. I had one of those like one costumes where like your head sticks out the
the face cutout. I had a Meryl costume.
I actually
right
won
around
something
when
that year,
I was like 7 or something.
Yeah, I actually won something that year, but that's not what this is about. So we had been walking around for hours, and we come upon this house that had like a bunch of tires and old car parts in the yard. And everybody else had already went up and got their candy, and I looked at my mom and I said, "Mommy, that house is trashy." And she's like, "Shut up, go get your candy."
Oh my god, you didn't.
She literally like told me that if I wasn't nice and went to get my candy, that I was going home.
Hey, that's fair enough.
And her cousin was like sitting there beside her, laughing her butt off.
Damn.
Needless to say, I got my candy and left.
Oh man, kids are too honest, man.
That same Halloween, I also won a little star medal.
Ooh. Oh man. I guess it's one of those things. Okay, like somewhere on TV, I think it might have been Gabriel Iglesias put it best when it comes to kids. Because he says they're too honest. They're like little alcoholics. And
yeah.
Damn it, he's just
agree.
so right. He's so damn right. That man's too funny for his own good. Always great to be sharing little stories and anecdotes from our life with the viewers. I do love doing that. Please tell us your Halloween mini stories. Just anywhere you can comment or tell us, I guess that's about it. So here is episode 9 of Rugrats from season 1, October 27th, 91. Weirdly, we were Googling these to all, make sure they were the right episodes, they were the first ones, etc. Google really doesn't know what this episode is. It thought it was from the 6th of October, which, one thing, not bad, but it also thought it was the 16th episode of the 13-episode first season.
I was gonna say, which is not a thing because there's not 16 episodes.
I'm not exactly sure. They might be counting segments, but this is also not going to be a tour review where we kind of, give you the time codes and stuff like we did on the first 2 episodes of this podcast.
Just wanted to note for you guys to be careful if you're looking it up.
Yeah, because it will get you confused. You'll be looking into midair, looking for something that's not around. That being said, please enjoy. This is Candy Bar Creepshow and Monster in the Garage. So we now have a smattering of notes. We've gotten all the way through episode 9, Candy Bar Creepshow, Monster in the Garage. How do you feel? I mean,
I love both.
Both episodes are perfect for the Halloween season.
I think they were perfect for their time,
and
too.
With the second one, we'll go in order with Candy Bar Creepshow first. But there's some crazy stuff in the second that we need to talk about, including some real life folklore. Kind of odd. But what I kind of found immediately, first of all, season 1 of Rugrats is always a fever dream. That's why I put down in the notes. And I noticed that it always seems to go farther than any other season. With the trippy visuals, the weird camera angles. All of that is very indicative of Rugrats, but it never gets crazier than season. And here, it's on full display. I also found it kind of weird that Angelica was being actually helpful in the first episode. She was actually telling the kids exactly what it was to her, the best of her abilities.
Candies were and how to get them.
And Halloween, and describing candy bars to them. She was an asshole. She ended up still being an asshole, but it's kind of weird to see her being somewhat helpful.
Being somewhat genuine.
Yeah. Obviously the Frankenstein stew costume, it was cheesy in the best way possible. If you guys really want to get yourself in on a damn good special, please. This is a standard length 2 11-minute segment type episode. It's not the flashiest of the Halloween specials we're going to talk about today. In fact, I'd say this is actually the most down to earth in terms of plot and all of that. But I also found it great because the babies didn't recognize a lot of things. They don't know what masks are. In fact, they call
them a second face.
Yeah, they called them a second face, which was funny to me. It's funny because it does end up with the babies inadvertently scaring the hell right out of everybody.
Right, because Tommy got the ghost or the sheet on him, and he looked like a ghost. So they thought he was a ghost.
Freaking twins decided to get worms all in their hair, which was actually spaghetti. But for some reason, people just apparently thought that was enough to make them zombies. And all the trick-or-treaters that were in there end up just dropping all their candy and running for the hills. I thought that was great.
And they scared the grandpa, and I loved it.
It was to the point where both Angelica and Tommy's dad, which are brothers in the show for all uninitiated, were arguing about who was going to go back and get Angelica's candy.
Right, and Angelica kept screaming, "I want my Reptar bar!"
It's so good. All about this is great, but I think the better half of this is Monster in the Garage. This is what I'm going to call a perfect Rugrats episode. If you want to know what Rugrats is about, this is an episode you point towards. So stuff starts falling around the house randomly, as if by nothing. And even though it's pretty clear the Spike didn't do it, he gets framed for a paint shelf falling in the garage.
He takes the blame.
Takes the blame. He gets put out for the night. And during the night, Boris and Minka, which this might be the first appearance, but I haven't seen the last few episodes in a while.
We just know it's an early appearance.
But this is where the meat and potatoes of the conversation are, because Boris is telling the kids a story that actually invokes real Jewish folklore.
It references
the Dybbuk. Oh, man. So I came across the Dybbuk in my studies years ago of mythology and culture. And hearing it, I immediately had to pause and kind of refresh myself. So here is the AI overview from Google. If you type in the Dybbuk myth, which Dybbuk is spelled D-Y-B-B-U-K, if you guys want to kind of look around. It is a fascinating thing. The Dybbuk myth from Jewish folklore describes a malicious spirit of a dead person that cleaves, or in this case, due to etymology, the word Dybbuk is what it's actually kind of based on, which means to adhere or to cleave. It cleaves to a living person's soul, causing symptoms of mental illness and often possessing them to seek justice or revenge. So it is a vengeful spirit of the 17th century. Seeing something this horrifying being even referenced in Rugrats really does speak to the times that this show came out. This is the kind of stuff you could get away with in the 90s.
Kind of makes you think.
Realize E now is not E then. 4 kids is definitely not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I can agree with that. I mean,
it's kind of nuts.
There's a lot of stuff that you can do now, or that you can't do now that you could do then, I meant.
Oh, yeah. And Boris tells the story so well. It was amazing. The anticlimax, spoiler alert, give you 1, 2, 3 to get out of here. It ends up being a mouse in the garage.
Tiny little white mouse that's adorable.
absolutely adorable. The Klasky style really does it good. You know, Klasky Chupo having one of the most weird but nostalgic looks to all their cartoons.
Right.
You always know when you're watching a Klasky Chupo type show, and I think their best looking show is All Real Monsters, but even though this is Halloween, we're actually not talking about them today. I feel like it would have been weird if we didn't at least say All Real Monsters name at least once.
My favorite part about them finding the mouse is the part where Stu jumps up on the car because he's so afraid of the mouse.
And it comes full circle because Spike ends up barking at the mouse, scaring it away for a time. But the mouse ends up being in the house somewhere else later.
And Spike gets his just deserves because he takes him back inside and tells him he's going to sleep in the bed with him.
Yep.
And then Dee Dee, I love the thing that she says. Because she's
well,
like,
maybe he can sleep at the end of the bed for one night. But he's carrying Spike. Good old...
It's funny, I love it.
Good old Stu's picking up his dog and loving on him.
I love that ending because...
It's great.
It tells the story of how he actually is being nice to him now after being mean to him.
Yeah, although it's all just great. And that's all we've got to say about the Rugrats' first Halloween special. I use the term Halloween special kind of loosely in this episode because it is just a standard length episode with 2 segments. But this is their first trick or treat. It can't be counted any other way. Hopefully we'll see an actual full-length special somewhere along this line. But this is great. 1 out of 10. I'd give it, sadly, an 8. This is far from a perfect special. I'd give it an 8 as well. But considering its subject matter, it did way more than it really needed to.
Right.
Especially the Dybbuk reference. I think it was insane to actually... It was kind of fun to kind of read about him again. I do love it. I never expected we'd be bringing up something from Jewish folklore today.
This is my first time actually learning about it.
It's kind of nuts. Let's sail on over to October 28th, 1999 for Scaredy Pants. Now, we won't be saying anything about I Was a Teenage Gary, its sister episode, although possibly deleted scenes that have since been proven false means that one would have been just as scary to talk about had that been true. As for Scaredy Pants itself, what do you gotta say about Scaredy Pants? I mean, we've got all these nice jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins, you know, your spider webs.
Everybody trying to scare SpongeBob.
You got candelabras in the background. All of Bikini Bottom is made over in this dark, grayish tinge, and it's gorgeous.
And it gives me the feeling of what the Addams Family would be.
Yeah, it's like visuals of Addams Family just kind of bled into SpongeBob in a way. I could see that.
I love it.
For 99, it seems pretty... it seems pretty typical, though. That's the only thing I'll say about this is it's a Halloween special from the 90s. Mm-hmm. It does its job right. Can't even really be sure I can call this a special as it is a normal length SpongeBob episode. Unfortunately, Bikini Bottom would come to kick it off its throne years later, doing that Tim Burton shit we all love so much.
Right.
However, don't look over Scaredy Pants. It is the 13th episode of Season 1, and every Season 1 episode is just great. There's no other words for it. SpongeBob wants to be spooky. Everyone's always scaring him. And this is his attempt at revenge. And that's all that can be said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's not much else to say.
And I think in the end he does get to scare the town.
And really, when it comes down to it, the Flying Dutchman just kind of steals the show at the end anyways. And him scaring the Dutchman was a pretty good little twist ending.
I love that ending.
If you guys have never saw this, definitely see it. Scaredy Pants is amazing. And I Was a Teenage Gary is great as well. I also gotta say, my favorite visual gag is just right near the end. Having the little pickle souls and the whole entirety of Eugene Krabs' story is a classic to me.
I love Squidward, like, sneaking up behind him and yelling, "Boo!"
I came for your pickles.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
And he
That's
jumps up in
great.
the air all scared.
The haunted mattress was always a good gag. We got the Groucho glasses on Patrick. You know, there's a reason me and Brits will not be talking much about SpongeBob, and that's because Scaredy Pants is just simply a great Halloween special with no frills or laces. So, watch this one, but then go watch Bikini Bottom. Shuffling on to the 29th in 2002, we've got Scary Godparents, the 13th episode of the second season of Fairly Odd Parents.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Scary Godparents to me is one of the more interesting of the bunch we're talking about today. And that's because Timmy wishes that everything was real
And
on
scary.
Halloween trick-or-treat night. Let's be honest here. This is the kind of thing that is a perfect escalation for that show. The rules kind of get in the way. Cosmo and Wanda are kind of stuck being a janitor and a dentist, respectively.
And the four rich kids
Become
get
the
good
Pumpkinator.
costume.
So the Pumpkinator from Crash and Nebula, you get a little bit of everything in this whole dealie, but the Pumpkinator, I think, is actually just a really cool villain. I would like to have seen... I do happen to know there was a pilot made for Crash Nebula, and this would have been cool. I would have liked to see a Halloween episode with the Pumpkinator.
I would love to see, like, how it would play out.
Because here you get kind of a diatribe version, but the whole pumpkin doomsday device and all that, just everything escalates perfectly. This is a full 23-minute episode, meaning it would have actually filled the time for the Fairly Odd Parents that day.
Right.
And let's be honest here, that's what we want. You always want to have a nice, long Halloween special. That's the only thing that Scaredy Pants had wrong with it. But enough ragging on SpongeBob for the moment.
The part I love is where he finds the costumes and he ends up with a tutu.
Yeah, the discount store bin, everybody knows it. We've all been to that point where you had to get something out of a discount part of the store, and whether it was Halloween or not doesn't matter. Everyone knows it's bargain bin shit for the whole lot of it, so I can imagine on Halloween it's even worse. We really... I don't think I've ever been something I didn't want to be, fortunately. You know, I don't think...
Unfortunately, I didn't have that, or I had that problem.
Like, what was your worst Halloween costume?
Well, to be honest, I didn't want to be SpongeBob that one year.
Did you know? What did you want to be?
I wanted to be a dead bride.
Well, I
never got to be what I wanted to be.
Yeah, at least you didn't get anything horribly, horribly bad, though. I mean, SpongeBob may not be the best, but I mean, at least it's a decent costume.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've seen some pretty bad ones. Like, toilet paper mummy is really a thing I've seen in my lifetime. But I'm not going to out who did it. So,
right.
Yeah. Another thing to think about is the fact that this has just got the whole Family Guy for Kids thing attached to it. Ever since I had that talk with them, with my buddy Jordan, I can't really see as anything else. And to be honest, Fairly Odd Parents Jr. is a great show.
And there's, like, so much to like about this one. Like, I like how, like, whatever costume you put on, that's what you are.
Yeah.
It made it where they could be fairies again.
I like how at the end you see 3 Crimson Chins.
I know, it's so funny.
And they all transform. That was funny. I absolutely love that. There's a lot to love about Scary Godparents, and if you've never seen it, it's very good if
and
you're
I could
a
watch
Nick
if
fan.
you haven't.
Let's move on to the final. Okay, for the final of our 4, let's jump just only an exact year to the date October 29th, 03, with Nightmare in Retroville. This is the Jimmy special, and
I love Jimmy Neutron.
I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. This show is a lot less fun to watch than it used to be. The 3D is very distracting. Its water physics look stupid. But to be honest, this is early 3D TV show, so...
For me, it's a little different because it's more of nostalgia for me.
Yeah. Nostalgia is the only thing that holds this thing together with glue, in my opinion. I think the characters work well, but let's see how we like this Halloween special. Okay, so already my favorite moment in this entire special is just a shitty B movie that Hugh is watching on the TV.
I love how he's like all upset because his mom wouldn't get him an octopus costume when he was 16.
16. Lame. No, but really, this setup is just about as much as you could think of. The boys sit around trying to figure out what they're gonna have for a costume, and well, wow. So, after watching this episode,
I still love it.
I still think it's a good time. And I still have the same problems with Jimmy Neutron that I have had lately. It is feeling a bit stilted whenever they try to move fast. It's ungraceful. But I do like the infection angle they used for the whole thing. I think this is actually just yet another one. But this time, instead of magic, it was sci-fi.
I was gonna say, I love how they like started out as trying to do the costumes, and then he gives them the ability to become monsters for Halloween.
Yeah. It almost feels like a scaled down version of what Turner did in Fairly Odd Parents, where he just kind of wished everybody there was a real threat of everyone becoming monsters this time too, but honestly, it just feels a lot less full of stakes. You know, like there wasn't a doomsday device, there wasn't tons of monsters running the streets. Who knows what kind of damage was done in the Fairly Odd Parents. Here, mostly people just got to see a real monster. That's kind of different. But overall, I think this whole Halloween has been a pretty good one. And Nicktoons vs. Halloween, kind of a mixed bag compared to what I remember, but I do love every single special here mentioned in different ways.
Same.
I think taken together, this would be a perfect evening of Halloween. You guys should go on this journey as well. It's a lot of fun, quite nostalgic, and Nickelodeon just was always good at this. I remember the old bumpers that they did around 2011.
I do too, and I love them.
You know, where they actually took all the Nicktoons and zombified them.
I love their little, like, card things at the beginning, where it has, like, little pumpkins and stuff.
Yeah, everything about Nickelodeon has always screamed good whenever it comes to Halloween. And it even comes up to the modern day. Either way, thank you guys so much for coming on by the house. Come on back next time for some more conversation.
Peace now.
Bye.